That is perfect.
Okay. Giving you some exercise even. Nice to see you, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Nice to see you.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of pictures.
Yeah,
It is bizarre. I don't know what's.
yeah.
Hey, Smir. Yeah, exactly.
You get it?
Okay.
Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
And recording has started, I heard. You have friends.
Artillery battery.
Okay, Rex has
standby before
friends.
they fire the
That's
round.
good.
We all need friends.
We all need friends.
201.
Meeting of PH2 Board of Directors is called to order.
Yeah, the mic's not working there. Okay, good.
Okay. Let's call the roll.
Board Member Brower,
Present.
Hertzberg,
Here.
Medrano,
Present.
Peacock,
Here.
Vasquez, Vice Chair Ruggles,
Here.
Chair Paris.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Jason, you want to lead? Sure.
Everybody stand, place your hand over your heart, and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have a presentation by US Hybrid regarding FPH2, and this is real. I mean, this is really, really cool. So if we can hear from,
Yes, as a precursor, we'll introduce Monique and Enzo. They're with US Hybrid. We've been working for the last couple months together, working on a strategy to supply hydrogen. And they are working on the strategy to provide equipment. So we've consummated that partnership with an agreement and time to share with the board, not only who we're dealing with, who we're working with, many of you know them already, but for them to share their plans and opportunities and take questions and things of that nature. But we're really excited about the partnership. We think this has a grand solutions in the industry where we've had the disconnect between supply and equipment, and that they are bringing both to the table to hopefully fill out the equation. So they're bringing the chicken and the egg, let's put it that way. So with that, I'll turn it over to Monique.
Oh, it would be lovely if you could be on
There you
the
go.
microphone. Thank you.
So again, thank you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I know we've worked with you guys in various shapes and forms. We're very excited for the partnership. So it's with the intent of the production and distribution of hydrogen, also in partnering with Lancaster and bringing meaningful jobs. So from the engineering perspective to partnering with unions, schools, et cetera, universities in those shapes, forms, and fashions. And as Jason conveyed, the chicken and the egg. So from the Class 8 to the transit to other shapes, forms, and fashions we're going to be rolling out. Along with that, in the line of bringing our headquarters to Lancaster, which will be announced very soon. So all of that in parallel with everything else we're doing. And again, we're really, really excited. And we thank FPH2 as well as Allison for their support in this and Mayor Paris. And again, we look forward on this journey and partnership together and really solving the chicken egg, not just for California, but let's think bigger picture too. So.
Hi, everybody. So Enzo Bauk, I'm the Senior Vice President for Integration and Development at US Hybrid. And what we bring is many years, 30 plus years of experience on electric propulsion and fuel cell propulsion, probably 20 years. So our engineering team has more than 100 years of experience dealing with hydrogen and fuel cell. And hydrogen had always been the problem. So we can, as I said, and every place I go, we can retrofit, create, design any vehicle that uses hydrogen. But what is the hydrogen? And how much is that hydrogen? And is it reliable? In 2022, we delivered the first container top handler that we retrofitted from diesel, a tailored container top handler from diesel to hydrogen at the Port of Los Angeles, and working in conjunction with Toyota and Toyota Tsusho. And the top manager, when we demonstrated that top handler at the terminal, Phoenix terminal, and there were a lot of dignitaries and 2 buses looking at it, a very top manager of Toyota asked me, where are you going to build a new building to manufacture all these vehicles, 2022? And what is holding everything is hydrogen. So what we're, with this partnership that is fantastic, it's the first time in 30 years that I be part of this endeavor, we are bringing OEM to Lancaster. So we will build trucks, buses, and other specialty vehicles in Lancaster. The first vehicles are going to be Class A trucks that we have the complete design, and we are start getting the kits to manufacture in Lancaster. So that is what we're bringing. So the equation closes when we have the hydrogen. And hopefully in the next years to come, hydrogen price comes down. So the excuse or the reason the port and Toyota say we cannot, we don't have a lot of business at the port is that they compare the price of hydrogen to the price of diesel. And when you do all the equations and everything, the price of hydrogen has to be under $8. Deliver at the machine. And the terminals, the union leaders, they want hydrogen at the right pressure at the machine deliver. And it has to be $8 and under. So we all have to work hard to generate hydrogen and being able to compress it. I insist on that. The machine use, like my car, I drive a Mirai. When I say I drive, I'm lying to you. It's parked at the factory because I go to a station and I pay $36 a kilogram. It's 5 times the cost of driving my old Audi, 2012 Audi. 5 times more expensive. So it's all about the hydrogen. And so when the port does the equation and you evaluate the diesel, what they pay for diesel, because that diesel is cheaper than the diesel we pay, it has to be under $8. And we all have to work hard to get it there. And I love that you guys have a mission to do that, and we will be working toward that because we will provide the product that will consume the hydrogen, and with more demand, there will be more production, and hydrogen is going to come down in price. So thank you very much.
Any questions?
Oh, when are you putting sticks in the ground?
I'm sorry, what?
When are you putting sticks in the ground?
Well,
Q1.
that is what we are looking in planning and all is Q1 2027 is start the hiring and the production. Right now, the parts are being prepared.
You said you were going to build Class 8 trucks first. You have an OEM that you're working with?
We are the OEM.
You are the OEM?
We are the OEM.
The OEM, the headquarters is coming
What's an
to
OEM?
Lancaster.
Original equipment manufacturer.
Like a Toyota.
So we basically generate what is called the VIN, vehicle identification number. So we generate that number, a 17-digit number. We are authorized already by DOT. So Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard to prove that you meet, prove you meet those standards, and then they give you the authorization to, that is an OEM. And you are responsible for the vehicle and the vehicle are OEM.
And you're familiar with the green machine at the port with the top
Yeah,
corner?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's-
It's a famous machine
Yeah.
from my perspective.
Right.
Call it my
Very
baby.
impressive, very impressive.
So
So we want more of those too.
we want more of those,
Okay.
but I can
Yes.
tell you, it wasn't easy. I'm an engineer by titles, but my hands are in that machine. All 17 of us in the machine, and 5 or 6 PhD from Toyota with us. It wasn't easy to get it. but
Some of
now
the
we
people
have
you
the
saw
design.
yesterday, or a couple days ago. So the partnerships with Tusho. But then also we have the terminal operators, as you know, Jack, well-versed with former Trigen.
Yeah.
The union operators as well, the support of not just local, state, and expanding that, but also expanding it not just into Class 8s. We've got the transit, and there's 397 vehicles, right?
And we need a United States OEM to make some buses and stuff, okay? We have a problem with that.
Not only that, on buses, transit buses, because they're funded by FDA, you're required 80% of the.
Yeah.
So we are working on that. That's extremely important.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you tell us anything about the fuel cell technology itself?
Well, the fuel cell is all, in my mind, the fuel cell is the stupidest machine there is. Manage the 3 fluids. What is happening inside the fuel cell is so simple, so beautiful and so simple.
I would say elegant instead of stupid.
Well, what I tell
also
the
said beautiful.
students, what I tell the students is extremely simple. What
Yeah, it is.
happens inside the fuel cell.
Yeah.
What is really complicated, because we did it 20 years ago with Ballard. Ballard will deliver only the fuel cell, and we had to do the balance of plant. Managing the 3 fluids is complicated. So don't think on fuel cell. Focus on managing the fluid, the right flow, the right pressure, the right humidity. It's not the fuel cell, it's the balance of plant. So whoever master the balance of plant win the battle. And is it Toyota or the world, Hyundai or the world? So we are not specific what fuel cell is. We are agnostic to the fuel cell as long as it has a track record. My car or the green machine, what is the maintenance on the fuel cell?
Yeah.
What is the concern that the union workers have with the green machine and so on? What is my job? What is my job? I'm going to lose my job. I don't have to maintain a diesel engine. The drivers love it. There is no vibration, no noise. They fight to drive it. But the union mechanics want to learn how to install that. So I'm already teaching the PCMC,
Coast Marine.
cost maintenance. They manage the union workers at LA ports have 14 terminals, 10 of those terminals, the mechanics belong to PCMC. So I go to the PCMC training ground and I teach mechanics how to put things together because they want to do that. So learning, and our business model with port is we provide the kit, the instructions, the teaching, and you install it. That's your job, and they love that concept. They now will be implementing, this is for retrofit, no new machine. They will be doing the retrofit themselves. So PCMC has 900 mechanics, something like it. So they have knowledge on every aspect. Because a machine, you think is high tech, the fuel cell. The fuel cell is one part number. You tell them it goes here, you mount it with these mounts, and you connect this way. There are 6 main components on a fuel cell. And now you're my students. First of all, you make it electric. You have an electric motor, a traction battery, and electronics that manage what the battery gives you, the electrons, and the power electronics manage the traction motor. That's your electric vehicle. But you want more range, reduce the size of the battery, and bring the fuel cell, hydrogen tanks, and a big radiator. Because the fuel cell, the coolant of the fuel cell comes out of the fuel cell around 70, 71 degrees Celsius. So in order to cool it, when the ambient is 45, today at Sunline Transit, in 1,000 pumps, 45 degrees, you only have 25 degrees delta to dissipate the heat. Hence, you need more radiator, more surface, and more fans. I always bring to my students the 6 elements. You think the radiator is the simplest thing. You're talking about fuel cell, fuel cell. And the radiator, for 150 years, we have been doing radiator. But it has to be well calculated, it has to be huge. And that's your fuel cell vehicle. So give me $108 and we all become rich.
In the vein and in parallel with that, I also want to bring, if you didn't know already, is the partnerships with, again, the unions, the ports. Mark Urisic, who most of you are very familiar with, is bringing a futuristic, but we've been in this discussion since well before Tri-Gen, is a hydrogen training center with the Port of LA, with Soroka and Hasegawa. So that's something that, looking forward thinking, that we can really expand upon and open those doors as well, not just in Lancaster, but in the Port of LA and Long Beach with the trade unions, because it's not limited to one union, remember? It's not just electrical, it's not just, the Tri-Gen, there was multiple different unions, for example, that we can all collaborate together and bring, the face of our partnership.
I would add one thing to the partnership that we bring as well, is we've designed our membership to be very logistics heavy. If you look at Shafter Industries specifically, Fresno, Montebello are looking at their transit side of it. From a Shafter perspective, they're very logistics heavy. So we're going to be bringing our partners in this as well to kind of establish hubs, not only for their vehicles, but fueling, as well as the opportunities for economic development in those communities as well. So as a result of this partnership, we're going to be engaging those communities and seeing how we can impact outcomes for them as well. Not just around the port, but those trucks leave the port. And they come to places like industry, they go to places like Shafter. So we have the opportunity, and Lancaster, they have the opportunity to bridge that gap together.
You guys being the OEM, are you going to be selling direct, or are you going to have distributors?
We'll be selling direct. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. We've got people participating remotely.
Sorry.
Thank
Yeah, we will sell direct. That's our concept. Because it's not just one type of vehicle. We are looking at several type of vehicles. We will start with the Class A truck and the transit bus. And the transit bus has more work because the 80%. The 80% is critical. But there are other vehicles that we will also produce because we want everything to run on hydrogen.
But the impact, right, for the meaningful right now is the Class 8s, the hard to decarbonize, the buses. What's important to your constituents, what's important to the state are those two heavy-duty concentrations. Look, around the Port of LA and Long Beach, if you look at, whether it's asthma, you look at just the different reports, that's your concentration of the worst air quality in the country. So starting in that and our partnerships and what we bring to the table, but our messaging, right? So it goes beyond than just the simplicity.
So what obstacles do you see?
Sorry, what?
Obstacles.
Obstacles? Timing. What happened, having the design completely finalized the components arriving, the lead time on component. For example, hydrogen tanks. You place an order today, 6 months later, you get a tank. So working with those suppliers to cut that timing into 3 months, those are local suppliers, and they say they can do it, but having the large orders to justify the tooling and so on. When you order a hydrogen tank, they had to make 2. One get destroyed. You order 100, make 101. Yeah, one get destroyed. So those are the concepts that it requires a lot of planning to shorten the lead time on components.
What kind of capital you have for this starting this enterprise, and how big of a facility you're initially planning in Lancaster?
Well, the original facility we are looking at is, you have the actual,
So 650,000 square feet within Lancaster and to scale. That is our model, that is our plan, that's what we're looking at right now. So but it's also a plan with phased scalability and to meet the immediacy, right? So the hard to decarbonize Class 8s, the buses, and then putting that flag, the OEM flag within Lancaster, looking at the distribution and production, and then a scaled phase 2 rolling into that.
What kind of capital do you have? That's 650,000 square feet, and building an OEM is a lot of money.
I know, yeah, we're not authorized, I'm an engineer, not authorized to
Just the
mention that.
rent on a building that size is going to be 400, 425 a month.
We're working with Cefi on that.
Yeah, the number is lower than
Well,
that.
with Cefi, you might get it down to 380, but it's still a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Are you capitalized for that?
Yeah, no, capital, we don't worry about that, it's there, but we cannot mention.
That's adjacent,
That's Jason Lucas, the president of the company,
but
that
yes.
manages that.
You don't see any obstacle there?
No, that we don't see that obstacle, and especially me, I look at the design and the finalize and the bill of material. I always say to the students, a 2-cent washer will stop production, the production line. So you have to worry about the 2-cent washer, the fuel cell, and the 2-cent washer has to be in the line. And that's our biggest concern, my biggest concern right now.
Need fewer moving parts.
True, but I mentioned 6 components to make the retrofitted vehicle for fuel cell. But then if I count everything, and you have to have heater, you have to have a chiller for the battery, you have to have air conditioning for the driver. And that is when you are retrofitting, and then all the fasteners and all the cooling lines and all the harness, electrical harness, low voltage, high voltage, communication harness, CAN harnesses. So those are the details that increases the number of components you have to have.
Is BYD a competitor? They're located in Lancaster. They've spent tens of
They
millions, hundreds of
do
millions.
electric.
I know,
Electric.
but when I suggest that I only suggest that because, look, I've seen the other side of the trade. You're going to a municipal entity, and the municipal entity is trying to be clean, and they're trying to get clean vehicles, right? They're not thinking about product A, product B. They're saying, I need a clean vehicle to meet certain standards that we at the state have required. And so you have electric vehicles are competition with you.
You have to, one complements another.
I know, I got it.
Whether it's range, whether it's, with some of the buses, and I've worked with the transit for some time, some have the range anxiety or, in conditions of what have you. So you work in parity, but you build the hydrogen model, right? So it's a competitor, but for some of the transit, you have to also be realistic that they will do electric and they will also do hydrogen, but a lot of them are phasing more into the hydrogen.
The perfect world is when you do both, because if you're really efficient, you have your own solar panels that you charge the batteries with. When they're not charging, they could be making hydrogen for the hydrogen buses. There's
Well, you have your grid
that
constraints
could
too.
take place.
Yep. There's grid constraints, there's, on the diversified energy resources, getting creative on that. And
I think what Bob's getting into, though, is we have some companies like Tesla, like BYD, who have big pockets, and they're your competitors.
Yep,
And they're spending lots of money
Yep.
to do this right now.
But they do, and
I know.
electric, there is market for both. For example, at the port, they cannot go electric all the way. There is no electricity going to.
Yeah, we know that. We know, and we have like studied
the
hydrogen
capital.
for a long time, and that's why we're here for hydrogen.
Exactly.
Okay. I think the key question was, whether you have the capital to make this all work. Hopefully you do.
No, we do.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you it has this many zeros. We can mention.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Bob,
By the way, we're very, very happy to have you building hydrogen and fuel cell vehicles in Lancaster. I think it's a great opportunity for us to do that. And by the way, the other vehicles too, like the port equipment, I don't even know if there's anyone else that's doing anything close to that. So if you could do that, that would be like really awesome.
And the port equipment is about retrofitting. So
Yes. And I like the model that you suggested, which is use the unions to actually do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because
Well,
they
what
have the
about-
knowledge.
What about having an extended facility in the city of Industry too?
I don't want to overstick reps, but our rent's a little bit more.
We are in Downey.
Your rent's a little more.
It's a high rent
Listen,
district.
our design facility is in Downey. The engineering is in Downey.
But I guess we can ask him, we have a lot more skilled labor here in the city of Industry than we do up in Lancaster.
Yeah, but we learn really fast.
Now you got them going.
The building here.
Got the aerospace.
Square foot, 1,215 per square foot rent. Lancaster is half of that. Half of that is the
Yeah.
rent. And we are, as I said, we are in Downey. We have been there for many years, and all engineering will be done in Downey, and we will be hiring local people for R&D and first vehicles. It will be Downey. Lancaster is production, strictly production, cookie cutter. That's the concept.
How many workers do you anticipate hiring?
We are looking at ultimately by, I would say, end of 27, about 1,200 people at Lancaster.
Are you getting involved with the fueling infrastructure at all?
this is something that we're talking about
Okay.
amongst some of the very same. So yes, and also looking at, different ways to slice it and dice it. But as you know, Tanya, on the fueling side and to build stations, which I've done in my former roles, it's not an easy feat, and it requires 24-hour emergency management, all of that. So looking at viable options in parallel to partner. And, you guys know who's out there, and fortunately, we've worked with them. So looking at that. So yes, because that is part of the chicken and the egg. And, mobile refueling may work to a certain degree, but maybe not in other ways. So yes.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Any question?
Just got a lot of them, man. Thank you very much.
We could keep
Thank you very
going.
much.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's vote. Take the roll.
Board Member Brower,
Aye.
Hertzberg,
Aye.
Madrano,
Aye.
Peacock,
Aye.
Vice Chair Ruggles,
Aye.
Chair Paris. Motion passes.
President, everybody would say president.
Okay. Chief Executive Officer update.
Great, just one update today. Obviously, US Hybrid was the biggest of the updates, so we're excited about that partnership and that opportunity. The other that merges with that opportunity is the RFP that we've been talking about, the Clean Energy RFP. That closed yesterday, so we ended up with 19 different applicants. That was very excited about that. So we were concerned for a little bit, to be completely honest, that with the slowdown of the market, with some of the federal money going away, that we may have seen some people exit the market. We did not validate that with our RFP. So we have 19 very strong submissions that we're really excited about. The process for that, as you know, we've had the Pacific Northwest engaged in that RFP. We have US Hybrid engaged in that RFP. We also have multiple transit agencies involved in that RFP, CARB, the California Resources Board, and the governor's office. So go
When
ahead.
you say engaged, you're not talking about respondents.
19 respondents.
19 respondents
Engaged parties are the
ones that help you promote
buyers.
it
Yeah.
and help.
The potential
Help
buyers.
develop the
Okay, okay.
actual RFP,
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure it met their needs.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So not only involvement in the development of the RFP,
Yeah.
now once the RFP was developed with that input from all
Yeah.
those folks.
Yeah.
Not the responders.
Not the
Right.
responders.
Yeah, thank you. This is helpful.
Yeah. The responders then said, okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
sell you hydrogen.
Thank you, yeah.
Right? So we do have that evaluation process next, which we're engaging GoBiz, CARB, some of those transits to join in that selection committees. So they'll be going through that process over the next couple weeks to identify the preferred suppliers. From that point, we hope to get those preferred suppliers on board, begin negotiating contracts, and hopefully, the ultimate goal, as we always started here a couple years ago, was to get new green hydrogen supply built in the market. So that is the ultimate goal out of this RFP. With partnerships like with US Hybrid, with the alignment of the transit agencies and the state, we have substantially increased our ability to make this a very successful RFP. So we're looking forward to being able to say we've got close to 30 tons that we have booked now, so that we can actually identify in this process to get built in California, which is really nice. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the respondents, and we're obviously excited about the partnerships we've engaged this in. So it's been successful.
19 is great. That's a bigger number than I was expecting.
Us too.
So,
Yeah.
thank
well,
you.
Well, early on we track it. So if you look at
Planet Bits.
Planet Bids, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you look at Planet Bids, the system we use, you can identify who takes out applications, right? They have to register and then they take an RFP.
Right.
And it was staggered. It was around 5 or 6 when we first, it was getting close. We're like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. And then towards the end, it just started flowing up and we're really excited about the responses. So, and we've had some preliminary looks at them. They're all good. They're all really positive. Pricing looks good. Availability looks good. Technology's good. So it's very good news. Can't show you all the details, but we will give you a list of who those applicants are because we know we have to follow certain procurement rules. So you guys are completely aware of who we're working with.
Yeah.
Because you are decision makers at the end of the day.
I do not have anything for open session, but it's good to see everybody and working with the team on everything Jason just mentioned.
What does board discussion?
That is
Whatever we want?
that is an item that is designed to allow the board to have discussions of various matters as the board has requested and the chairman has insisted at prior meetings.
You tend to talk a lot. Oh. Not you. The group, yeah.
This is to keep us Brown Act compliant.
That's how you phrase what I, good, thank you. Any
You're
discussions?
welcome.
You sent us 2 agreements. I think both of them were signed in this last period.
Right.
One was with US Hybrid, and what was the other one?
It's a GGF, which is the stationary power project we're working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two different.
2 different projects.
Sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that one has been signed also, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're moving forward on that project as well.
Yeah, per the
Yeah.
board's prior authority back
Correct,
in
correct. I'm
October-ish, maybe?
Okay.
Was about
Yeah.
when you guys authorized that?
Yeah.
And just to clarify for that process, with the chairman, we've identified authorities that for speed, because we only meet every month, we have the opportunity to approve these contracts, and then we share them with you for background purposes.
And for clarity, the board authorized certain levels of authority in the CEO, and then in the CEO with the chairman.
Yeah.
And then authorities where we have to come to all.
Have to all come to all of us.
So there's differing levels that you all approved so that we could move with the alacrity that's needed for this particular space.
Thank you.
I was using my thesaurus today. My son's a senior. We're working towards getting to college.
Whatever happened to us powering Ravello's project with hydrogen?
So for background for everybody, we'd originally started, part of this origin story was Rex wanting to become a hydrogen city, which meant we powering neighborhoods, logistics centers, things of that nature. We did some early analysis that we very simply can power neighborhoods completely off grid with solar, battery, and hydrogen as resilience. And that's when we found out we had no hydrogen available and it was really expensive. And so we created this entity to solve that problem. So now that we have solved the problem, we will be actively, hopefully with Ravello, identifying stationary power projects to actually power with hydrogen and solar and battery. The stationary power project we're working on is an example of that, just a very, very large one. But that capability now exists when you have affordable hydrogen and available hydrogen.
Do we have a price point that makes that problem?
It does. So if you look at the analysis we did on the residential neighborhood, specifically in Lancaster, the amount of sun that shines on a rooftop of a single-family house that be stored in a battery, you would not need any you would not need any power imported to that site. You would have enough electrons 365, 24/7 to power and store for the entire neighborhood. And this is the assumption the entire neighborhood would be working together, right? So their batteries would be interfacing and communicating. The hydrogen would just be a backup. In case something went wrong, the hydrogen would be the most expensive energy, but it would be a backup energy to all the operating systems within. And it's cost effective and it's far cheaper than the grid.
So is the current project net zero?
The one in Lancaster, it is not. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it's net zero. It's not off grid. Our goal is off grid, completely disconnected. It is likely net zero, but not disconnected from the grid.
So we need the hydrogen to take it off.
Correct.
So what are we gonna do first?
Bring us a developer. We got fuel now.
Somebody
Oh, there you
works
go.
Very closely with developers.
Yeah, have you done anything with Ravello? If I do, just make sure you let me know. Have you actually signed anything with them? Okay.
No, we had
Let me
early
know, 'cause I
communications
gotta-
with them. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had early communications with them.
that's all. Just keep me out of the loop.
Yeah.
I'm involved in every loop there is.
I was gonna say, I'm not involved.
We do have the supply now.
And we have an accountant that has done the numbers and said this works.
Early on, but yes, we would, if you identify somebody who's willing and ready to do that, we would dig in and have all the skill set and capability to make that happen.
What would it take to get it through the
So depending on how it were implemented, if it were implemented as part of, and I don't know if you need to step out at this point, Director Hertzberg, you said you have a
Let's clarify,
conflict.
it's not Ravello's already developed, so,
Well, no, Ravello has other contracts with the city
Okay.
that you might not be aware of.
okay,
That,
Okay,
yeah.
without specifying a developer.
okay.
If we had a
We might be able to
developer,
attach
would you-
it to an existing development that has already been approved, so I need to circle back on that.
So take an existing development and take it off grid.
That's a little tricky, because once you've connected,
Yeah, once you're connected, it's tough.
there's exit
Exit fees,
fees
yeah.
and departing
Departing
load.
Departing load, it's not so easy
Prohibitively
once you're connected.
expensive.
So the value, what happens in the development process is that developer is going to build all the electrical infrastructure and dedicate it to Southern California Edison, well, in Edison territory, in PG&E, whatever you're at. So now they own that equipment and wires and everything else underneath there. In the strategy that we talked about, that developer would still build all those assets, they would just dedicate them to the city, and the city would operate that electrical system. So it needs to be new development.
Tired of talking, let's get things built.
Agree.
Should we formulate a press release in response to the LA Times article?
We have a very, well, actually, we have a very good one that we're gonna have you quote it in, or
Yeah.
Alex asked you to quote in. It should be
I
in
saw
your inbox.
something from Alexis, I guess. Okay.
Regarding US Hybrid, and we're working with US Hybrid to make that announcement. And maybe we can add some mitigating language in that. I appreciate that insight. With regard to the LA Times article.
Crappy one.
Because it does
Didn't
really,
interview anyone except for one guy.
What was the article about?
Is saying that hydrogen failed in cars and now it's failing for clean energy.
When was that?
3 days ago.
Yeah,
I've just pulled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
see it.
Are there any facts in the article? I mean,
Facts, who needs facts?
Who needs facts?
Come on, man.
2020.
Facts.
We're different
Facts,
time
facts.
in history.
Who needs facts?
Someone's
Facts when
opinion.
you have AI to write your stories for you.
Mentions
I can't believe they didn't reach out to a broader cross-section of the community, though. It's like one person, and then the one person,
Was that?
yeah. Yeah. So they have two that don't go on record, and one that's willing to put his name out there, and then they write the article.
As a user,
Yeah.
I got it for $36. And I live in Lakewood, which is close here. The only station I can go to is Fountain Valley. 17 miles one way. Get there sometimes, even though it's green, the machines are not working. And I had to go back home. So I had to allocate 34 miles in my car. Talk about anxiety on mileage.
Yeah, so,
So how do you mitigate that?
no, I totally agree. And there is a disaster associated with the fact that it costs $36 a kilogram, and a disaster associated with the fact that that First Element Fuel is no longer investing and just making money to build these stations now, okay? Because that's what their board decided, okay? So it's not like a company like Tesla that invests for 20 years and eventually makes a profit. No, they're making a profit now, okay? And this is a big problem. And secondly, we're supporting the most difficult application you could possibly think of when you have it consumer-based for individual vehicles. What we should be doing is focusing this, like we're doing at First Public, on fleets, okay? And fleets that have a home base where you can build a big fueling station, and the buses have incentives for both adopting the buses and adopting the fuel. They get low carbon fuel standard incentives. Okay, we should be doing this, and we are doing this, and this will be the success. And it's also the success that Arches had in mind, okay? You know, it's building, and not only that, it mitigates the emissions that are most important. Because heavy duty is more important than light duty vehicles.
And
Anyways,
also industrial.
and so the whole hydrogen community knows this. So why would this guy be dissing it?
I think you've just written the response there.
we should be asking for the LA Times to publish an opinion piece.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
But we need somebody to write the opinion piece, and we need somebody to reach out and contact them.
Put Bob's name behind it, so it's some pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob.
Are you saying also industrial? I mean, the high heat rates you need.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a big piece. I think the transportation fuels is small ball compared to ultimately the use of hydrogen. I mean, the industrial gases, what you need to make cement and aluminum and steel and all that stuff.
And ammonia.
And ammonia.
And ammonia, and and you get clean fuel out of it, and provides the industrial backbone of what we need.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on, let's recess to closed session.
For item 5, excuse me,
Item,
item 6, as
Six.
stated on the agenda, Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Chief Executive Officer.
We're going to?
closed session.
We're passing 4 and 5.
No, we did 4.
Oh, court council update, yeah, board regarding first, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody,
Resuming, the general counsel will report.
Yes, in closed session, the board took up agenda item number 6, gave direction to staff and legal counsel, no reportable action.
I got to say when the next meeting is.
The next meeting is September 17th, 2026 at 2 PM. And that is it. Oh, if we have public comment, none online?
We have no request to speak.
Okay.
We are adjourned.
You like that, yeah.
I do.